Happy New Year and welcome
Happy
back to
New
the
Year.
All Things Undone podcast. We haven't talked to y'all since last year. We are so happy
Mm,
to be back. I am Granny, she is. And on this show, we talk about life after divorce and how to move forward successfully. We talk
mhm.
about recovering and reconnecting with your authentic selves. And we talk about, loving God, ourselves, and others. And joining me with for all of the stuff that we talk about is my awesome co-host. Happy New Year to Jay Hawk.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Granny. She
Oh,
is.
what you drinking on over there?
Oh, I'm on the yak. It's a new year, baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm toasting to everybody.
Not that
Hi.
yet. Well, listen,
hmm
y'all. I started my
Mm.
30-day cleanse yesterday, so I'm drinking that 100%
Ooh.
H2O. But listen to this, Jonathan. Listen to this,
hmm
y'all. So Saturday night, I go out with my friends, and we go to our usual spot. It's the hookah lounge we go to, and
hmm
so I get before we go to dinner, and I have a French 75. So that's literally just champagne, gin, and lemon and like lemon juice or something. It's like a real light drink. That ain't gonna do nothing. I ain't even have a buzz. So we go to the hookah lounge, and I always order a Henny Colada. It's Hennessy,
Mm.
and it don't have no pina colada stuff in it, but it tastes good. And it's like you can taste the Hennessy, but it's not to the point where it's like, ugh, it tastes real good. And I always get mine with extra cherries. So the bartender made it a little bit stronger than usual Saturday night.
Ooh.
So I'm over there and I'm
Ooh.
sipping it. I get through my first one, and then I decide I'm gonna have something a little lighter. I was gonna go get amaretto and pineapple juice. But when I got to the bar, she's so used to seeing me order Henny because Henny Colada, she automatically makes me another one. So I'm like, oh, what the fuck? I'll go ahead and drink the second one. She made it just as strong as the first one. So I drink that one. I don't know how I went home, but
Mhm.
I was literally drunk. I wasn't tipsy. I was drunk Saturday. So I get back
What?
home. Oh my goodness. And I was drinking water in between, but that don't really it takes still takes time for your body to metabolize. Long story short,
hmm
I get home, I snatch off my wig, and like literally, I don't even take no shower. I just dive in the bed. Sunday morning, my head was hurting so bad. I could not lift my head off the pillow. I
Oh,
ain't gonna lie,
wow.
I could not lift my head off the pillow. And I'm like, God dang. I'm out of BC powder, but it's on my shopping list to go get some. I took 3 Motrin and laid back down. It took me, I didn't get up out of my bed until 12:30 when I went and got my food from the door from DoorDash. So I
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
Sunday is the
We
perfect day to start this cleanse. My liver is thanking me right now.
Hey, it takes us a little bit longer to recover than it did 20 years
Oof,
ago, 10 years ago, 5 years
you ain't
ago.
lying. Let me
It
tell you,
takes
it was so easy back in the day to bounce back. We could go out all night. We had them good Megan knees. We could pop, lock, and drop it. No problem. If I pop, lock, and drop it now, I'm gonna pop, lock, and get stuck. Like,
So check this out. I got something to share. Can I share this right quick? This is
yeah, by
kind,
all
right?
means, go
So
ahead.
so after church one time, I
Mhm,
treated a friend of mine to we went to hibachi right quick, right? And
mhm,
we sat in, and so she first time for her had happened sushi, and she had sushi, and she was like, "Oh, this is good, this is good." And then all of
mhm,
a sudden, she's driving back. She goes, "Oh Lord, I'm swerving, I'm swerving." I'm like, "What? It's you only
mhm,
had like a little bottle of sushi. I mean, the sushi of sake." And long story short, she tells the story.
mhm,
She goes, "I don't think I metabolized alcohol really well because the last time I went out there drinking, I was
mhm,
walking up to the door, and I fell in the bushes, and I had to get my daughter to come out, and she tried
mhm.
to help me, and I rolled down the hill back to the street, you know, and my wig would come off, something about the wig, and she was dirty, and she had to come back in. It was hilarious.
Yeah,
So." She goes, "I never had this problem with drinking like I did when I was young. Now I'm old." She's 50 plus in the 50 plus club,
mhm.
and she ain't handling it so well. So maybe something to this.
I'm just saying, well,
I'm
listen,
still drinking my yak.
I got to get it together because I'm single now and I have to maintain my fuckability until I'm well into my 80s. That's the word you can add to your
Your
Rolodex.
what? You had to maintain your what?
My fuckability.
Okay, so define that word for us, for the audience. What is
For the audience. And happy new year to you, ATU fam.
Happy
Welcome,
New Year?
welcome. Let me
New Year.
explain the term fuckability.
I
It
know.
means,
I need to add that to my repertoire and my dictionary.
because see, here's the thing: we get older, and if we don't
Hmm.
maintain our physical bodies, mental and spiritually too, our hips get stiff and our
Mm,
knees get stiff, right?
mm,
And then, if you get too much in your middle, it's certain positions you just can't do because you're gonna run out of breath. And
mm.
heaven forbid your partner asks you to ride.
Right.
If you ain't in shape, he got about 30 good seconds of you doing this.
And it's over.
It's over. It's over.
So in other
So
words,
yeah, I gotta
if you
get in
don't
shape
reach
so
the
I can
peak in 30
maintain,
seconds,
maybe a while before I get married again or whatever, but I kind of want everything to work. Right, thank you,
mm.
Wayne. The ability to fuck at maximum strength. Boom.
Well, it brings me back a little bit to something
Uh,
that one of my favorite couples said.
uh,
Nicole Ari Parker and her
right.
husband Boris. He said that he maintains his physical physique because he wants to be able to give his wife, um, what she would have got on the market.
Right.
So it's no good for him to actually marry her and then let himself go, because now she's like, well, shit, I could have stayed on the market and got better. So it's like I need to be able to give her what's par on the market or even better because I took her off the market.
That
So
part. Say that one more time for the people in the back. What you got to do?
you got to give her par what she would get on the market or better because you took her off
Mhm.
the market. So if you took her off
Right.
the market, you can't decrease because now she's like she's gonna have buyer's remorse. You're like, what the fuck I get out the market for? I could have got better if I'd have stayed single. What's the benefits of getting married if he gonna let himself go? And so they made
Right.
a commitment to each other to keep themselves up, their bodies up for themselves and for their partners because they want to make sure that they,
Mm.
give
That's
each
the
other
that's the
what the
ticket.
market would have given them.
That's the ticket right there. You want to buy something that's going to appreciate with time. You better.
Damn right.
And I don't mean to objectify anybody, but think about it. Like you said, if you're taking us off the
Objectify
market,
me, shit. I don't give a damn. Objectify me.
right, and vice versa for women, we need to do the same thing when a man takes us off the market. We have to make sure that we're maintaining
Mm,
what we were giving him in the beginning, in the
hmm.
courtship phase. If not, then what you're going to depreciate. And unfortunately, what happens when we depreciate is something else
Get
on the market
replaced.
will look better.
You get replaced,
You
and
get
uh,
replaced,
you get replaced some sort of way.
Yeah.
If
It may
it's
not
even if
necessarily be an affair. Let's explain that. Sometimes you're not replaced with
mhm,
another person.
right,
Sometimes you're replaced with a thing or something
yeah,
like that. I know men who are so into fantasy football, and you would think they were cheating on their spouses, but they are not. They are
hmm,
literally at these fantasy football meetings. I don't even know what to call
work. It can be work.
them.
I mean, I'm not saying work can replace that as well. Especially if it's a
Yep,
person
work.
that finds his or her identity in work now because they're not getting fulfilled at home.
What
Domino's
way?
pizza twice a week.
Twice a week. Baby, I'm going out for them nose. I'll be back. Or like on y'all remember King of the Hill? That's one of my favorite shows. I love it so much. I bought the box DVD set of all the seasons. Well, y'all know Nancy was dating John Redcorn, and she would go and
Yeah,
get her
and the
headache
little
treatment.
son. Yeah,
Yeah,
that little son looked just like
that
what
look
was the
just
what
like
was the
John
name of the
Redcorn.
guy who couldn't talk?
Yes, Lord. She was
What was
going to get
his
her
name?
headache treatments. And the other day I was watching it, and she was telling Dale, I'm going to get my headache treatment. And he said, you've been getting those for years and you still got headaches? She was like, yeah, baby, it takes time. That shit. Boomhauer. I love Boomhauer. Yeah,
Boomhauer. That's it.
that's one of my favorite characters.
I was trying to understand what the hell Boomhauer was talking about. Oh my gosh. Yep,
I
that's
knew
it.
every
Boomhauer.
word. I
You
knew
can understand
every
every
word.
word.
Yeah, like on the first episode of King of the Hill, they had the social worker in that episode, and he went to interview. And we're gonna get to what we're talking about in a minute. Y'all just hang on in there, enjoy the conversation, and join in, chat
Join in,
over there.
y'all. Especially talk about fuckability.
Yeah, y'all let us
In
know
the
what y'all
comments.
think about that, maintaining your
Hmm.
fuckability until you're well
Yeah.
into your 80s. What are you doing to do that?
What are
But
you
yeah,
doing this
let me
year
tell
to
you
maintain?
that Boom Howard, every word. And thank you, Leslie. I appreciate that. She said the ability to participate, enjoy, and attract the activity of fucking. Yes, that's from
Leslie,
Leslie.
thank
Thank you
you,
so
Leslie. I
much. That's what
appreciate
I'm
that.
talking about. Join in the
Leslie, are you
conversation.
maintaining your fuckability? Maybe that's a, I'm just putting a shot in the
She
dark
looked
out there
good
to
in this
somebody.
picture. Like I'm saying, yeah, I'm looking at her right now.
What she look like?
She's a pretty chocolate lady.
Oh, chocolate. Watch out, boy. Watch
Look at
out.
that.
Oh,
You see?
goddess. The
Yeah.
chocolate goddess
She
right
giving
there.
goddess vibes. She giving like the pictures on the
Uh-huh.
wall in the back right here.
Uh-huh. All
Come
right.
through, Leslie,
All
looking
right.
amazing. Thank you. Yes,
Look
indeed.
at there. Look at there,
Now, the
boy.
next question we're gonna get for you, Leslie, is are you single? So, be prepared to answer that. if somebody asks. Let me turn that down. Oh, I just heard you say it. Ooh, we like that word. Put that in there. So, what we talking about tonight? Boom Howard was talking about a dog down the street, and he needed somebody to come shut that dog up. I love Boom Howard. So, first of all, happy Martin Luther King's Day.
Mm,
This is the day that we celebrate,
the
we
frat.
honor, we hold in high esteem Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in pushing forward with the civil rights movement because
Mm-hmm.
we would not have all the freedoms we have today if not
Yep.
for that. Now, I know
Absolutely.
we still got a long road to toe,
A
but
long
from where
road.
we were to where we are now, having the freedom to do this, to speak on this podcast,
Mm-hmm.
without due stress is even a challenge. Happy birthday, Dr. King. I
Happy
want to tell you,
birthday. That's my frat, by the way. That's my frat. That's my Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, incorporated fraternity brother, Dr. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Big shout out to you, frat. We
speaking
love
of
you. We
A5A,
respect you. Yep.
when do you all celebrate your anniversary? Because I saw the Noops do theirs yesterday or day before yesterday.
Ours in December.
So y'all already had y'all's. I missed
Mm-hmm.
it.
Hmm.
Okay, because I just saw the Noops do their little thing on the
It's a
show.
Founders Day and everything, but it
Yeah,
wouldn't if it what they wouldn't be no them if it wasn't for us. So they
right.
can tell us happy. There we
Yeah,
go.
right. That part. So you all make sure you give your tributes. If you don't know about your Black history, all of us should. But I know in this day and age, we don't hype it up as much. So we give all honor to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., A5A.
That's right.
Yes.
Now I
Now
want to
we
share
want to check
something
this
else
out.
with us about civil rights. You mind if I do
Mhm.
that for a quick moment?
Yes,
The
please
civil
do. Yes.
rights movement really started in two different places at once, and
Hmm.
they were near us. One was in Brookhaven, Mississippi, and the other was in Macomb, Mississippi, or Aden County. Um, the person who actually took the first throng at it was Lamar Smith in Brookhaven, Mississippi, and he was assassinated on the Chancery Court steps in broad daylight in Brookhaven, Mississippi. The second person, the second group that was doing it with SNCC, Student Nonviolent Coordinated Committee, was Dr. Bob Moses, and he actually got Herbert Lee, the only person, right, to register to vote after being there a whole year, and a state representative shot him dead in broad daylight and got off. And the next time the civil rights movement spun back around again was with Dr. King. So the first stab at it actually began in our hometown, Granny she is,
Hmm.
and also in
Good
Macomb,
evening, Eric.
Mississippi. That's
Hmm.
the first. So we actually have the distinct honor of having the first ever civil rights movement strung in our hometown and down the street in Macomb.
Oh, wonderful.
Hmm.
Big facts for Brookhaven. I almost said about goes for Brookhaven. So we're going to get into our topics because we're talking about what happened the first 15 days of
Mm,
2024. And it came out with a bang. Thank you all who are joining and watching. We started 2024 with the bang right out the gate. So my first topic, and I had to write stuff down because I couldn't keep all this in my brain. I could not. But the first thing is this. This is a 2024 election year. We have
Mm-hmm.
presidential elections in November of this year. And they've kicked it
Ooh.
off already with the Iowa caucuses. That's on the Republican side, trying to figure out who they're going to vet for their candidate. It's a hot ass mess. It's a shit show. It really is. Right now, the candidates on
Excuse
that
me.
side is some female. I don't know her name.
Is it
And
Nikki Haley?
DeSantis from Florida, the governor of
Mm-hmm.
Florida. And then Trump, who is actually not eligible, but he's still putting his hat in the ring. So
Mm-hmm.
that's on that side. On the Democratic side, we have Kennedy. He's a Kennedy. Robert Kennedy Jr. is
Mm.
putting his bid in
Okay.
to be the Democratic nominee. So if y'all don't know
Right.
that, go Google Robert Kennedy Jr. He's already started his campaign. You can look
Mm-hmm.
into DeSantis. DeSantis and Trump are like two devils. I'm
Death
not gonna touch
Santis.
that nerve.
Death Santis.
We're not gonna touch that nerve, but that's on that. I'm not gonna go too
Ronald
much into it, but it's
Dion
just watch.
DeSantis.
What'd you say?
His name is Ronald Dion DeSantis.
That's
And
it,
yes, he
Ron
is.
DeSantis. Why do you
Hmm.
got a black middle name?
But hey, but he is a straight up racist.
He is.
He's
He
a
most
straight up
definitely is.
racist. He's a straight up
Oh my
racist.
goodness. So yeah, that's who they got. And then we got Robert Kennedy Jr. I don't know who else is bidding on the Democratic side yet. I have not had enough time to vet that information. But you
Dr.
all are
Cornel West
listening
is
to
one.
the
Dr.
election.
Cornel West, I think he's with the Green Party. So you have
Who?
Dr. Cornel West,
Mhm.
and you have another lady who was actually running when I forgot her name when Hillary was running. She's attracted a lot of votes from Hillary. Um, I can't think of her name, but she's running as well. So you have some third party people who are throwing a hat in the ring, and that's something we probably need to talk about because I'm not, I love Dr. Cornel West
Mhm.
as an academic, but
Yeah. And here's the
bruh,
thing.
what you
This is
doing?
this is just my take on it. First of all, you have two major parties. You have the Democrats, you have the Republicans, then you have some people who run on the independent ticket. Then you have
Mhm.
the Libertarians, the Green Party. Who am I missing? Thank you. IDGAF about either side. Cube had it right. Cube had it right. Last presidential race. Who is going to do what for my people? Period. And lately, nobody's been doing anything. And Cat Williams said this in his World War III comedy show on Netflix. He was like, "Can we just take a break? Can we just be in separation from our government for a while? We need a break. We need to heal. Can we just sit this one out for 2024?" Speaking of Cat
The
Williams, we're gonna get
Democrats,
on him, but I can't talk about Cat now. If I get on Cat Williams right now, that's the whole show. But
yeah,
that's all I wanted to say about the candidates, the presidential elections.
cats are
Y'all start
genius.
putting your hats on for those of you who vote, because this year is going to be extremely tasking on your nerves.
Mm,
Okay, but if
I
you
got
are
one for
part of
you.
the election cycle, start paying
So,
attention.
so here's
What you
something.
say?
So some states are looking at, like Colorado has removed Trump from the ballot. It's going to the Supreme Court. Okay, all right, but I get that. But the question really is, because you removed him from the ballot, can people still write his ass in? And if they can, what have you really done?
You know, we could go all around and around in circles because we do every year with politics. We'll see. I think at this point, Trump shouldn't even be part of this conversation, but the media continues to sensationalize anything that he says, along with Kanye West, by the way.
Is he
They
running for president
sensationalize
again?
anything that he says as well. But I'm not gonna get on that nerve because I don't want to get too far off topic. And Kanye
Okay,
West and Trump are like way left right now. But we might circle back to it. We'll see. All right, so here's the next thing: winter storms. Winter storms are here. Okay, y'all, it's
hmm
here. And it's not only impacting the northern states, it's impacting us as well. As a matter of fact, it's shut down pretty much all the south because the weather is supposed to get bad tonight. And I want to say this for the people who are watching in the Bogalusa area, Washington Parish area. Um, it's I think, what is it? The Church of the King, or Church of God in Bogalusa, has a warming shelter that will be open for the next 3 days. It is open now. I have the information for that pinned in my Facebook on my Facebook page. I also have it listed in the All Things Undone Facebook page, because if you know people who don't have a place to go, who are homeless, who may not have, they may have a house that's not insulated, please, please, please direct them to that phone number. Mr. Larry Brown is his name, and he will make sure that they get what they need, because that is important. Some people live
That
in
is
houses
important.
that are insulated, you know.
That that
Yeah.
is important. That is important.
So tonight, get on it. Go ahead,
So
Jonathan.
that's vitally important. So there are some people out there on the streets. There was in particular, for you guys who don't know, I actually I dealt with real estate, and I advise in real estate, and also in the insurance realm.
Mhm,
However, guys, I want to say that there was just one particular instance where I was selling a probate home. The
mhm,
mom and dad had passed on, and the kids, heirs, had decided to sell the property, and their brother, who was in agreement with it, but he lived in a little shed in the back
mhm.
during a snowstorm here in Dallas. And he was siphoning electricity from the neighbor's house, but he was living in like the little sheds that you would get from Home Depot. He was living in one of those things.
Okay.
And it took me to, I reached out to social workers, whatever, in order to get him placed, because, you know, I could just, something in me was thinking, we're going to go back there and find this brother dead. you know,
Mm,
and then the parents are all the kids are already upset. The father passed, then the mom is sick, and having to sell the properties and things
mhm.
like this. And so, it was just something. It, hey guys, I didn't make a dime from that. I didn't, but it was just the human thing to do. So if you
Right,
see some people out there who are actually, who are unhoused,
right.
and they're unhoused, and and you have some kind of rapport or whatever, you see them, man, call somebody. Don't call 911, because we don't want folks with guns coming out, right? Call the 911 number. All right, well, we want to keep them alive. You know,
Right.
we know what the popos do. So, man, this trick is real good. Let me.
Yeah, it is real good. So listen, this is the other thing I wanted to point out, just in case you did not see it in the news. There is a natural gas storage facility that is in Washington State that went completely down on January the 6th. It went
Mm,
completely down. And this facility provides electricity and heating fuel to upwards of 6 million Americans from the Pacific Northwest south to New Mexico. So
wow.
we have this big storm here, and that's a nightmare come true. I think they call it a winter vortex or something vortex that's out, and I didn't have a lot of time to do the research on it. But like, it's so many other storms that could spin out of this winter storm. And with those people being out of power, that's crazy. Not to mention,
Hmm.
down here, down south, we don't have technically furnaces. We have air units that pump out heat.
Hmm.
So usually what happens this time of year is Clico and energy and all of them, what they'll do is begin to
Hmm.
limit the amount that so many people can use at a time, and that may cause them to shut down their
The
power
grid.
grid. So you all be prepared to have some other type of heat source in addition to your AC and heating unit, because that may shut off if it gets too cold. Down here is predicted, and I'm saying down here, I'm in Mandeville, Louisiana. It's predicted to get down to 25 degrees. And I know that may not be cold for some of the other areas, but trust me, it's rare
Mm.
that we get down to 25 degrees. It's supposed to be cold in Florida.
Mm.
So, if it's supposed to be cold in Florida, it's cold. So, you all prepare yourselves. Just a reminder for us down here, down south in the southern states, make sure that you leave your taps running tonight on low. If you have plants outside, go ahead and cover those bad boys up. It's not too late for you to wrap your pipes, but hopefully you had someone do that way earlier in the day, especially if you're in the
Hmm.
older houses. Just wanted to throw that out there because the weather is nothing to play with, and there's nothing we can do. We cannot control Mother Nature, the weather. She's gonna do her thing. Okay.
Well,
So y'all stay safe out here. Stay protected.
so what do you think is causing all this vortex? What do you think is
Don't
causing
get
it?
me started on my conspiracy theories.
Come on, Granny. I want to
All right,
hear it.
so
What do you
let me
think
say
it is?
this first, because I can remember back in the 80s for Christmas one year, I must have been 10, and my cousin was 9, I think. And it got so cold. We stayed in the old projects, Carver Heights is what it was. It got so cold, the ground froze over solid.
Mm,
And I remember us being outside and playing, and we weren't used to it. And my cousin slipped and bust his face
mm,
on the ice. So it's been times in the past where it's gotten this cold before. So we can say, it may be, I do think climate change has a lot to do with it. Some
mm-hmm.
people say it's the government testing out weather patterns all over the place. So that's the theory there. But yeah, the weather has been changing. Climate change is real, whether they say so or not. We put so many chemicals into our atmosphere. We have destroyed it. We are destroying our own atmosphere. So I'll leave
Yeah.
that there. Thank you all for joining. We're about to move to the next topic because now I want to really get up into some tea. Okay, I want to get
Oh,
into
come
some
on. Look,
y'all stay to the end.
I had to
Y'all know the
report.
first I want to share. He got his brandy. I don't know what y'all sipping on. I'm sipping on water right now. But we got to get into some tea because as y'all know, this year seems to be the year for exposure. At least we're starting it out that way. Did you
Mm.
all see the clip with Kelly Price?
No, I didn't see that one. You didn't
Did
share
y'all
that
not
one
see the
with
clip
me.
with Kelly Price where she was saying that she was the only judge on what's the name of the show? Sunday's Best, who was not sleeping with someone else's husband, sleeping with little boys and girls, or committing fornication.
You know what?
Put
I
that
like
clip back
Kelly
up
Price
there.
anyway. That's
It
my
says Kelly Price accuses Sunday's Best judges of infidelity and pedophilia and
mm,
held nothing back. So this
mm,
comment right here that's on the screen that you all about to see,
mm.
Kelly Price put this information up, and then this lady at Classy Queen T replied, "Oh, well, that's not the singer Kelly Price." And Kelly had time. She had time today. This actually
Give it
occurred on
to him.
Darius night. But this is what she said. I'm gonna read it to y'all. She said, "Yes, Lord, deliver us from pastor hoes and pedophiles. Deliver us from
That's the whole thing.
pastor hoes and pedophiles." She said, "Deliver us
Oh,
from self righteous congregants who send their money to liars and pimps in plain sight. Then come deliver me. The nerve you have. I was the only artist judge on Sunday Best that wasn't effing someone else's spouse, fornicating, or
mm,
messing with kids and boys. But you have smoke for me? F out of here. You ignore
mm,
church. You ignorant church going brain dead asshole." Like she went in on this lady. She said, "I'm a child of a preacher, 3+ generations, and I have no desire to be named among the gospel community. Wonder why? You don't, because you already know what it is
mm.
and are content to be a part of the cover up that had been happening for generations. My advice, get off my page now or prepare to have me tear you a new one every time you are stupid enough to come to my page with your self righteous piety. OMG."
Ooh. You know what though? You know what?
What?
That was a landmine that that other person did not anticipate him stepping on, and that's there for the
Really?
world to see. That was ooh,
I know. I'm surprised
ooh,
that the podcast aren't talking more about this. And I'm gonna tell you why so many things are covered up in the church. And this is not to say it's not good Christians in the church because there absolutely
there are
are.
some good Christians, but there are
There
some
are.
questionable ones
Now the
too.
percentage is low, but they're in there.
Well,
Okay.
not everybody that says Lord, Lord will make it into the. I ain't gonna go
Right.
there, but
Somebody said being saved and acting saved are two different situations. Right. I classify them two ways. We have Christians. Christians are, you can see that they are living the word, okay? They are living that life. Then you have
the
people who
church
are
folk.
church
You
people.
got the
Uh,
church folk.
We call them
Ooh,
church folk. They're
mm,
technically the um,
that's some
workers of
bullshit.
iniquity.
They some
Is that what
bullshit.
the
I'm
Bible
like,
calls them?
they some
They're the
bullshit.
workers of iniquity. They're going to remain in the church and they're going to remain to continue to wear their mask because they don't see the folly in their own ways. They say, "I can
Hmm.
do whatever because I'm covered by the blood of Jesus."
Mm, God,
Jesus said,
God
"Uh-uh.
forbid.
Yeah, God forbid, you got to get your life together. But that is the definition. If you're a Christian, by all means, do you. This you're not this group. Because what I'm about to say about this group, this church folk, I'm
Hmm.
gonna go
Come
there.
on, come on, come on, come on.
I'm
I
gonna
want to
go
hear about
there
them
for
church
just a
people, them
freaking
church
minute
folks.
because let me tell you, I have been in church all my life. Somebody said Bible thumpers, know two verses, but miss the whole Ten Commandments. Thank you, Leslie.
Hmm.
Right. No, the
Mm,
whole thing. Miss it. This is the crazy part. And I grew up in church. I'm a member of the Church of Christ, and my mom and daddy had me in church. You know, Jonathan, we were in church
hmm. Hmm.
4 days out of a 7 day week.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay.
Look, look,
In
look.
Bible, we know it. But let me tell you, it's always that group in church that you can see what they're doing outside of church versus in church, and you know that
Mm,
they're hypocrites. But it's all about respectability politics, and a lot of times we will overlook certain things in people if they are prominent in our community. Our sheriffs, you know,
hmm.
our doctors, our
Hmm.
lawyers, our nurses and
Our
teachers,
principals, our superintendents.
principals. Right. We hold them to such high esteem that we make excuses for their bad behavior. Now, I'm not going to touch on, as a PK kid, I was at church 6 out of 7 days. Yeah, you were. And then when I got
Mm.
married to a preacher, my children were at church all the time.
Dwayne, were you Church of Christ too, Dwayne?
No, I think he's different.
You're different. I'm Church of Christ now. I'm
Yeah,
Church
I
of
think
Christ
he's a
now,
different
sir.
religion.
Our Church
But
of Christ will be different from everybody else's
this is
Church
the
of Christ.
thing: respectability politics keeps us,
Missionary
um,
Baptist. Okay.
missionary Baptists. It keeps us in a place where we continue to rationalize and cover up the atrocities that go on in the church. And I'm talking about serious stuff. I'm talking about pedophilia. I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about sexual assault. I'm talking about
Mm-hmm.
preachers who used to touch little girls who still are able to preach, or preachers
Mm-hmm.
who touch little boys and they're still able to preach. And the entire congregation lets that slide because they say, well, they're God's anointed. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
what?
Touch
And
not
we,
thou anointed.
and we
Touch not
know
the.
that's the case
Mm,
because look at the Catholic Church. To this
mm,
day, very few priests have been prosecuted for molestation. And in the Black
mm.
church, we almost completely cover it up altogether, which drives me insane. And as we can see on the bigger stage, and I'm not going to touch too much on the TD Jakes thing because
We don't know about
it's
these.
out there, it's prevalent, and it's happening now. But still, people will cover up that they was like, we don't have any solid evidence, and maybe you don't. But God says, stay even away from the very appearance of evil if you're setting
Yep,
the example. So
that's
that's
true.
another story for another day. And we just continue that same
Can I add one,
delusion.
Granny? I've
Yeah.
been waiting to add one to this one. It's in our
What?
home state of Mississippi.
Okay.
Pastor Ricky Scott of East St. Peter Missionary Baptist Church in
Okay.
Aberville, Mississippi. So, you know, it appears that the pastor been spreading himself around in the congregation, you
Okay.
know, with a lot of women in the congregation, including his associate pastor who happens to be a man.
Wait,
Howsoever,
you took me too fast. You took me too fast.
yeah.
Wait,
So
what?
yeah, he had a plethora of women that he was sleeping with,
Plus,
including his male assistant pastor.
oh
Okay.
Lord.
Uh,
Okay.
so one of the women he was spreading his seed with
Mm,
became pregnant, and she came to church.
mhm.
It's video. It's a video, and jumped on the first lady
What the
in church. Now I know. Yeah, now I said that because I know that you held the title of first lady
Yeah.
before, and so jumped on the first lady in the service. And
Oh
he
Lord.
refused to leave. Said, y'all can't fire me. Y'all can't fire me. Well, guess what they did? They fired Pastor Ricky Scott.
They
But
should have fired him.
they should have, but his wife is still sticking beside it.
And to that I say, everyone should go watch Honk for Jesus. Okay, Derek says, in order to get
Oh,
people to accept something, you have to You have to
Prime
prime
them
them for it
first.
first. It will soon
Hmm.
get worse. This is true, but people look for that. The church is the black, that is our safe space in the black
Hmm.
community. You know, and if you take that away from our community, what do we replace it with? Especially considering most black people will not go to work to therapy, and they
Mm-mm.
will not seek out any other form of solace to reduce their anxiety, their pain. You know, I'm
Hmm.
not saying don't go to Jesus. By all means, continue to do that if that's the way you go. But you still got to, we, God holds all of us accountable. That don't mean you're judging them, but at the same time, don't you supposed to pull your brother aside when he is at fault
That's
and
right.
go talk with him?
That's
So where are the
you're
checks and
right.
balances? Is all I'm saying. There is no more checks and balances in church. It's like everybody puts the pastor on a pedestal, and he gets all power. Remember this: absolute power corrupts
Corrupt.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
I don't care what position they hold. Please remember, we are humans first, and we are fallible. All of us, from the greatest of us to the least of us, we are fallible human beings. That just drives me bananas. And I think more of that is going to continue to be exposed. As you can clearly see, Kelly Williams already done outed. And what who are the judges? Who are the judges on Sunday's Best? Sunday's Best used to come on BET. I don't even know if it still comes on because I don't watch that show. I don't watch Sunday's Best.
I think only my mama and them used to watch that.
I'm about to pull it up. Sunday's Best cast. Or is it judges? Okay, Kirk
Bryce Corey.
Franklin. Here it
I
is.
like I like Bryce's first name. I like his name.
Bryce Corey. I do
Uh-huh.
too. No, it's
Yeah.
Corey Bryce. He just got it on
Oh,
there backwards.
okay. All right. That's
That's
even
right.
better.
Pray to God, not to people, because people
Hmm.
will let you down every time. And that's what we need to remember. Revere God always, not
Hmm.
man. Even if it's
That's
your
right.
pastor, you always give honor, glory, and praise to God, Jesus, Lord and Savior, Holy Spirit, in that order. If you don't believe in that,
I don't even care no more. All y'all going to hell. My wife is going to hell. My kids is going to hell. You are going to hell. Everybody, you going to hell. Stop playing. You going to hell. You going to hell too. You're going to be the lead position in hell with the devil. You going to hell. Hell. Everybody, don't play no more. Hell. Say everybody.
Uh,
oh, y'all going to hell. Anybody seen that clip? I don't seen that clip so many times.
no. Who is this guy sentencing everybody to a lifetime sentence to hell? Who is this
You're
guy?
going to hell. Stop playing. You're going to be the lead position in hell. That is
Maybe he had
hilarious.
some of this yak before he got there.
He needed somebody. He was tripping. Okay, here are the judges on Sunday's Best. It ran for 10 seasons back in 2007. I don't think it's running anymore. Let's see.
Okay.
Kirk Franklin was a judge. Somebody
Mm,
named Joshua Roberts. Amber Bullock. I don't even know who Amber Bullock
mm,
is. Jessica Reddy. Does that sound familiar?
mm.
Kim Burrell. Kim Burrell is popular.
Yeah, Kim.
Kim Burrell.
Well,
Dathan.
Kim was out there doing something bad. She was
Yeah,
out
I'm
there
gonna get on Kim in just a minute. We're gonna talk about her
she
in
was
just a
doing
minute.
something
Kim
strange to
Burrell,
her.
Dathan
Ooh,
Thickpen. I've heard of Dathan Thickpen before.
mm.
Erica Campbell, Kayla Richardson, Donnie McClurkin, Kelly
Donnie?
Price, Yolanda Adams, and Jonathan
Oh,
McReynolds.
not Yolanda. Oh, no, oh Lord. Not Yolanda. Oh,
Yes, Yolanda.
Yolanda
Now
was my,
listen, I
oh,
watched I
not
know, and
Yolanda.
look what caught my eye was I saw the article, and then I followed T.S. Madison. Now T.S. Madison is not everybody's cup of tea. And if you don't know who that is, please don't Google it because you'll be shocked. I'm just gonna leave that out there like that. So
Okay.
yeah, Eric and Yolanda, listen,
Oh,
I
not
watched
Yolanda.
T.S. Madison, and she on her podcast was talking
I
about this.
was
Well, it's not even a
married to
podcast.
Yolanda
It's
in my mind.
it's her YouTube live. So I was watching her YouTube live, and TS pulled the article up of Kelly Price saying that she was the only judge on the show. She said this in a interview. Like this is it's not as public as Cat Williams, but she said this in an interview that she was the only judge on that show that was not one sleeping with someone else's spouse, two
Mhm.
fornicating,
Mm.
three sleeping with little boys or little girls. Now she didn't clarify on the little boys and little girls part, so I'm assuming that's under the age of 18. T.S.
Mm.
Madison put the picture up of all of the popular judges. And for Jonathan Reynolds, and I don't know nothing about Jonathan Reynolds, so this is not me saying this, okay? T.S. Madison said, I believe he's part of our community. She is part of the LGBTQ plus IA plus, all the alphabets.
Mhm.
She's part of that community. And she was like, I think he's part of our community. And her co-host said, maybe. And then like they went on to the next one. So they kind of went down the list of all the people.
Mhm.
So Kelly Price went on to say some other things too. I just didn't put all the snippets in there from her Instagram account. If it's still up there, y'all can go Google Kelly Price. And
So Kelly is pouring out the tea.
yeah, she was pouring out the tea.
Mm.
She was letting them
2024 is
have
the year. It's the year of truth and transparency.
apparently. So listen, if you've been ducking and dodging and doing a lot of stuff, especially if you're in the church community or in some other higher position, they don't care. Like they're exposing you. They're
You
like
know
putting it
what? I think it started in 2023 because
out.
that
Yeah,
because Diddy's still hiding. He's still y'all still
yeah.
looking for him.
It definitely started in 2023. Definitely started in 2023. Now, what is BDB? The BDB.
Tick, tick.
Wayne, I see Wayne's comment, the BDB. Yeah, it must be the year for it, baby, because it's on and popping. Must be a year for it. Let me come back over here.
Mm. It's been revving up the Epstein's, the
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I
Who
want to
was
touch
the
on
guy?
one more subject before I get
Mhm.
over to Cat Williams, because when we get to Cat Williams, we might be on Cat Williams. I got a
Mhm.
lot to say.
What is our break before we do the cat wing?
Oh yeah, we need a break. Wayne,
Yeah.
are we prepared to do a break? We are back. That was a quick back break. So listen, we are available on BWNC Radio. That is the I Am Woe Media Group. You just saw the entire lineup of shows. We have everything from sports, healing, fitness, you name it, black issues, all issues, world issues, breaking barriers. We got all of it. Please download the BWNC Radio app today.
All right. Black with no chaser, baby. Black with no chaser. Who's our fitness person again?
Her name is Dee Dee Leggett, and she
Ooh,
is with
Lord.
the Core Queen podcast. Yeah, she's
Oh,
with the
that
Core
DD.
Queen podcast. And look, this show, this one that you're hearing right now, will be airing on BWNC Radio in the morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. So please download the radio app and support us over there. Dee Dee, yes, with her fine self. She is a fitness coach. She's been in the military for years. So
Oh,
y'all please
amazing. Amazing.
please hit her up. I will tag her information, Jonathan.
I'm a
So,
fan, DD. I'm a fan. Okay.
and we love it. We love it. So look, let's see. Oh my goodness, BDB. Okay, listen. I will say this. Oh yes, please send out prayers for Dee Dee, the host of the Core Queen podcast. She lost
Mm.
her grandmother a few days ago, and the
Oh
funeral will
no.
be this Saturday or Sunday, Wayne. It's either Saturday or Sunday. So you all please keep Dee Dee and her family in your prayers. Send her well wishes. I will tag her information if anyone
Mhm.
wants to send her well wishes personally.
Will do. Will do.
Yeah, so we'll do that. So yeah, our prayers are with you, Dee Dee, you and your family. Let's
Mm.
see. Oh yeah, that's right. T.S. Madison. Warning. Warning. Okay. Everyone may not deserve to be Googled, especially if you're going to be scarred for life. But yeah, come to the podcast, stay for the music. I love that. Come for the podcast, stay for the music. Thank you, Derek. That is right. They do have all the latest updated music out on there. Now, before we get, I love fitness. Who's that? If you love fitness, you got to get with Dee. I'm telling you. I don't know who said that, but it'll come up on my screen in a minute. Oh, it's Jimmy Watson. You remember Jimmy?
From our hometown.
Yeah.
What's up, Jimmy? What's happening, man?
I bet he does love fitness. He is fine as shit. Oh my God, he is
Well, Jimmy,
so
I ain't say all that, man. But you know what I'm saying? Hey, one love from the hometown, baby. You know what I'm saying? So,
I digress. Let me get off that nerve. So listen, um, man attacks judge this year. Okay, a man attacked the judge this year, and
mm,
he was given pleading his case, and apparently the judge wasn't having it. She was getting ready to sentence him, and this is what happened. Wayne, you got that clip of that man? If y'all haven't seen this, okay. So the man who leaped at the judge is charged with murder, attempted murder, which is crazy. He leaped at her because he did not like what she was saying towards his sentence.
did he give her concussion or something?
He
So
did. He
he
literally
gave her
jumped on her. I
concussion.
think I sent you the
Yeah.
clip, Wayne. I think if you could pull that one up.
So he said that he had been trying to change his life around and
Right,
that he was no longer violent and he's trying to do the right thing. And the
right.
judge didn't hear it. She was not trying to hear it. And the next thing you know, it looked like Uncle Phil tossed his ass up there. Cause I'm like, how did you? Cause I've seen like we
Right.
we all all been to court for something. You know what I'm saying? We all been to
Hmm.
court for something. If you ain't, go. All right. So just for the experience, just for the experience. So and that judge's like it's pretty high.
Yep.
It's really high, and for him to get that high, I'm like, shoot, man, Dallas Cowboys could need we needed you last night.
He moved fast. When I tell you he moved so fast in that clip, it was like 1 minute he was talking, and then the judge was saying, "No, yeah, according to this rap sheet or whatever, this is what I'm." Before she could get out the sentencing, this man moved from behind the defendant's table to leaping. Like I say, it was a Batman move or some Superman move or something. I was like, "Yeah,
Man,
he on some. Is he definitely not right in the head?" But yeah, he's sentenced to
man,
attempted murder. That's crazy. He ain't never getting
yeah,
out. His name is Deobra DeLone Redden.
yeah, the Oprah, the
Deobra.
Oprah, yeah,
Yeah, thank you,
bruh.
Jamie. He said, I believe she was getting smart during his sentence, not saying he was justified, but that's what happened. Yeah, he was triggered. That wasn't a leap. He dove.
But
Right.
that
He
whole dough was
dove.
like, how did you get that kind of ups? Because the judges that like the desk for the
Right.
judge is like
She's up
really
high.
high. And when you go up to like when I went up to see the judge one time, right? I did.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so it's like right here to me. And I'm 6'2". And I'm just trying to figure out how did you get that high? Because there's no tables in front of there.
No,
Like, how did you get that kind of uh to
I
get
don't
that
know.
high, bruh?
And this is the crazy part. I saw a clip online and somebody was saying, what was the bailiff doing? But I think court is so boring, you rarely have an instance where somebody's going to move like that.
Oh,
So the
he got
bailiff
caught
probably
slipping.
was just as complacent as
He
he could
got
be.
caught slipping.
He wasn't ready.
He got fired that day.
Right.
The bailiff got fired.
This your last day, brother. This your last day on the job. We're sorry. So that happened this year because we're going over the first 15 days. So that happened this year. Now, what I really want to talk about, because I didn't think I was going to watch the entire Cat Williams interview on the Shannon Sharp Club Shay Shay podcast.
Okay,
I did
let's talk
not.
about that. So,
Let me tell you
preface
how
that
it
before you
started.
say that.
What'd you say?
How would you classify
Mm.
the theme of that 2 hour
Oh, 3 hours.
SmackDown? 3 hours. I thought it was
2 hours
three
and
hours.
46 minutes.
Oh, how would you classify that SmackDown from Cat Williams? How would you encapsulate it? What was it?
Remember that sermon, Who Left the Gate Open? It was at the beginning. It was at the beginning of a gospel song. Who left the gate open?
Who the hell left the gate open?
Yeah, who the hell left the gate open? He is John. Okay, he is John from that story. He let him have it, and he was out the gate with it. I went on. When did that air? And at this time, how many views has it had? Wayne, 46. I mean, 46 million views. Now
There are comedians shaking in their boots
they
right
should
now
be.
because the you know what? Go ahead first because I'm gonna withhold until you
Okay.
go. Go ahead. I
This
don't
is
want
what I want to say. I started to
to.
watch it the other day. I was at work last week and I was getting all, I think 7 days ago now. Yes, 7 days ago. I'm getting all my stuff together, or 6 days ago. And I'm looking for something to watch on YouTube. I usually watch horror shorts, but on my
Mm,
feed was Cat Williams is out the box. Cat Williams this and Shay. I'm like, what is the Shannon Show doing on? I mean, I kind of watched the Shannon Show, but not to that extent. So I was like, let
Uncle
me
Shay
click on
Shay.
this. The Shay Shay Club Shay Shay. So I click on it
Uncle Shay
and
Shay.
it's Cat Williams. I love Cat Williams. I was like, oh my God, it's Cat Williams. So then I'm watching it and I'm doing my little paperwork and stuff. And I think 5 minutes in, they got the intros out the way, literally intros out the way. Cat Williams on go. Ricky Smiley right out the gate. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, Ricky Smiley right out the gate. I said, I'm gonna watch it for a little while. Watch the whole thing. Now, so far, you could tell this is what I said in a couple of my comments under that Club Shay Shay post. And think about this, y'all. When I started watching it that morning, it had 4.5 or 4.9 million views by the time I started watching it 24 hours out. By the time I finished watching it 2 hours and 46 minutes later, it was up to 10 million views. I promise, like 9 point something million views in just the amount of time I was watching it. It's now up to 46 million because people recognize it. Yeah, we like itching ears, but you can recognize when somebody, you can see the truth of the matter in that. And he's been able
The
to prove
receipts.
himself that he was telling the truth
The
on
receipts
most
are
of it. Now he is
dropping.
a comedian. I'm not gonna say it's not no exaggerations in there because Ice
Maybe
Cube,
about the number of books he read could
uh-huh.
be a little bit of
Yeah,
exaggeration.
a little bit of exaggeration.
However,
Mhm.
it's a lot. Receipts are dropping. You know,
Yeah.
Mark Curry been saying, and it's been buried because Mark Curry's had
Mhm.
beef with Steve for years, and then
Yep.
we even see the joke that he
Mhm.
stole, and Mark Curry's like, "Say, man, that joke was from I lived that, and then you took that, you know." And he said,
Mhm.
"Man, you making all this money, and that's not cool. You're stealing from me."
He pretty much
And so
did. And
he
then you
did.
had Hanging with Mr. Cooper with
Yep,
Mark Curry. And
yep.
then Steve
That
Harvey
was his whole
came out
style.
with that whole principal show. So you can see the
Hightower,
parallel.
Steve
Hi-
Hightower.
Yeah, so it was kind of the same premise that Mark Curry was indeed the originator of that whole type of show, that high school principal comedy show,
Hmm.
right? And then here comes Steve Harvey right after him. And then they went back and showed Cat Williams' joke with him doing the hood car in the hood. 98% of what he
Hmm.
said was true. Thank you. He did have a couple
Hmm.
of exaggerations, but yeah, 98% of what he said was true. Because what got me was when he was talking about doing 100 sit-ups a day, and I was sitting there looking at his little fupa, like my fupa. I understand. We do get in the gym and we work out, but I'm
But
not doing
his
100 a day right now. But Cat
but
proves it. He was
but
out
that
there and
run,
ran his
that
little
damn
thing,
run,
right?
yeah, that little run he did was at 4 seconds.
Yeah, he said
At
he ain't running no four flat and no 40 yards. So some, but for the most part, he was telling the truth. What I really liked about it was all the little gems like that he was dropping throughout. That just made a lot of sense, right? So that's the
mm,
part that I liked about it. You could
It's a
see, like,
lot of
my
folks.
favorite quote of all. He said, "It's not about black and white." He said, "It's God's side and the other side, and we don't care nothing about the other side." So he was like,
You know,
"That's why he's able to say what he says, because he know who has him. He know who has his back spiritually."
well, it's the equivalent of having those. When you were in school, you
Mhm.
had those mean girls, and they were cliquish, and they try to keep people out of
Mhm.
certain groups, whatever. And what he's saying is that's the same thing that some of these comedians have done. They've stolen from other comedians. They've done this. They've blocked the way. They've barred the way. And so, yes, Ice Cube did respond, and he did say that.
Mhm.
He did say that. He actually corroborated what Cat Williams said. So,
He
oh, Cal,
clarified some stuff.
yeah, he
He did
clarified it.
clarify some stuff.
Oh, we have the courtroom footage. Let's go.
Oh,
Let's go.
we're gonna dial it
Advocate
back.
Holthus for leniency.
I feel that I shouldn't be sent to prison for a second time.
The judge reminding Redden of his lengthy criminal record before denying a request for probation.
3 felonies, a gross, 9 misdemeanors, multiple DVs. Got a lot going on, sir.
Moments later, Redden leaping over the defense table and the judicial bench, landing on top of the judge, sparking a brawl with Holthus, a court marshal, and a clerk, all sustaining injuries. Redden's family.
You know what? He must have hit that the little court reporter that's sitting
Mhm.
there doing a little, whatever. He must have hopped on her little desk and came over because that was a lot of airspace. But dang.
Yeah, and I'm like Jimmy, it's not justified, but he was triggered. Obviously, that man probably needs some mental care. But yeah, that was crazy on that
Yeah,
one.
I understand that he had some mental issues or whatever, and then they're still. So that's what his attorney is
They
saying.
still gonna put his ass in jail, but you know.
Oh yeah, yeah, maybe a hospital's for him, but yeah, he definitely shouldn't be out on the streets, and he probably shouldn't be in
Mhm.
GP, and he shouldn't be in gen
Yeah,
pop at
he don't
all.
need to be a general population, because if he'll leap at the judge like that, he ain't scared of nothing. When I tell that
Uh,
man not scared of
somebody,
nothing, he not scared of nothing or
yeah,
nobody.
somebody gonna
Okay.
hurt him in gen pop, so he
Oh
needs
my
to.
goodness. But
Yeah,
I do want to
that
address
won't be good
what
for him.
Ice Cube said about Cat Williams. He come out
Let's
and he
go.
said Cat was 100 on a lot of things, but I want to clarify. And then he did clarify. He said, please keep in mind, Friday After Next was created 30 years ago. 30 years ago. So he said, with that being said, sometimes we remember things differently. He was like, no,
Mhm,
Cat Williams, when they saw him audition, they knew they were going to give that role to him.
mhm,
Ricky Smiley fit the Santa Claus roles better. That was a fact. That was a fact. So the things
mhm.
that Ice Cube pointed out, he said he gave them all an opportunity because he thought they were funny. And then that whole fat face on lie, y'all get ready, because that is now part of the vocabulary going forward. It's
You a
going to be
fat
in the
face on
urban
lie.
dictionary. You're a fat Faison lie. Now the reason he don't like Faison apparently is because Faison had a problem with Ice Cube back in the day. He said he did not pay him properly, but we know that turned out not to be the case. Ice Cube paid everyone accordingly that was in his
Mhm,
show, any of his shows.
mhm,
So that's not in dispute. So that's why Cat Williams calls him a fat Faison lie. And he made him relevant again. This is what I really want to say about Cat
mhm.
Williams on
That's the
the
genius of
Pet
it.
Shop Show, Club Shay Shay. It don't matter if he spoke. Thank you, Leslie. I think that was Leslie that said that Steve Harvey was always a clout chaser, Michael Jackson,
Uh-huh.
Trump, and Ricky Smiley clarified all that too. He just responded like a grown man. Love it, and I didn't see all of Ricky Smiley's
Mhm.
reply.
Well, the truth will make you do that. When someone comes out like that,
Mhm.
it's you have to come clean with it. You got
Mhm.
to come clean with it. So, I mean, was he walking around the set acting like, I had his role, and now, I mean, was it really that? I mean, because he even said that on Club Shay Shay. Yeah, I had, what I'm saying? They switched our roles. Not really. You
Debatable,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Not
Debatable.
really, bruh. You know what I'm saying?
Debatable.
Because, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, not really.
So okay, Ricky Smiley clarified all that too. Ricky was
Yeah,
calling a lie, so he did tell
absolutely,
it. That's all.
absolutely.
He
He
did. He was talking a
backpedaled.
lot. I mean, we know that from Ice Cube coming and clarifying. But here's the thing:
Miss
some
Bernice
people go
Jenkins.
unchecked. They go unchecked for so long that when
Mm,
someone finally calls them out on it, they stumble, they fumble, and then of course they have to
mm,
come up with something. Now, I will say this: no one has come straight out and said Cat Williams was a flat out lie. They didn't say he was a fat face on lie.
they haven't. I mean, it's some people who've said, but it's people who are like in the clique, in the Steve Harvey clique, and the whatever. They're like, that I don't care what he say, it's not true. Well, you ain't got the receipts. Howsoever, you know.
Mhm.
Now this really hurt. This really hurt because I mean, for the Kings of Comedy, I mean, I, I give them all props. But
Mhm.
the person that I loved the most was Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac was, what I'm saying? I love some Bernie Mac. And to find out from Cat Williams that Steve Harvey went behind Bernie's back to try to steal his position in Ocean's 11 by
Mhm.
buying by saying, "Hey, I'll take less money." Oh,
Oh my
oh,
goodness. It's crazy. But this is what I feel is going to happen for anybody that he mentioned, whether good or bad. So far, 46 million people have seen that interview.
mm,
So if he mentioned you, whether you were relevant, if you're relevant currently or you're not, if he mentioned you in a good way or a bad way or not, 46 million people, somebody is definitely about to go out there and boost all your numbers. They're gonna go search you out on Google, on Reddit, on YouTube, on whatever kind of platforms to find out who these people are. He's typically made everyone relevant, and I can't even imagine the amount of money Shannon Sharp made off of that one video
that
from
was the
YouTube.
genius of what he did. That was the genius of what Cat Williams did. He made people he loved, he made enemies, and he made Shannon Sharp he just catapulted everybody with the 2 hour 46 minute comedy
Right.
special he did while sipping yak. That's why I got my yak. I know that's why I
That's
got
why
my
you
yak
got your
going.
yak. Okay. Well, look, I will have one
So
in solidarity with you because I'm drinking water. But here's the thing
mm,
everybody, and this is not me originally, I can't think of what podcast said it, but if they play their cards right, everybody he mentioned can eat
that's
for a
right.
long time,
That's
whether he
right.
mentioned you in a good way or a bad way. This is one of those examples of no press is bad press if you
Hmm.
spin it right. I follow Ricky Smiley, and I'll tell you this: Ricky Smiley's numbers ain't gone down. People are still liking his stuff by the hundred thousands on his pages. So let's see. I think this comment is gonna pop up in a minute. Jimmy said he said Cat earned it, but he said he originally went for the Magic Mike role, but Cat was better. Um, Cat was better. I didn't see the interview with Shannon and Ricky. Yeah, Bernie was the funniest. He really was. But Bernie will always be the funniest with Hung Low. I don't care. I can remember a lot of stuff Bernie Mac has done. He will bust your head to the white meat show. And of
Him
course, his famous him
downstairs.
downstairs. Him downstairs. He will always be the freaking funniest. He will be.
uh, I know.
Now, I will say something, a meme that has come out of the TD Jakes thing, and it's from his sermon about being swallowed up. Y'all, I'm tickled. I am so tickled. I posted Chris Brown doing that on my page. My daughter knows I get such a kick out of it. She sent me a text message that said, "Have you ever been swallowed up? Have you ever been in a time of swallowing? Have you ever been swallowed up? Swallowed up?"
I have.
Go
And it was good. All right. Anyway.
Okay, he said that in the apology, but in Ricky's original interview, he said he got the role and then they switched it up. Well, Cat Williams, he was almost typecast as a pimp. Cat Williams has played Money Mike, a pimp named Slickback. He played the slimp in the pimp in Norby. I can't remember his name. Him and the other funny guy, Eddie. Eddie,
What was the first Sunday? Was he in first Sunday as a pimp too?
was he a pimp in first?
Was he a pimp? because I know what's his name was Bernice Jenkins. Um, Ricky was Miss Bernice
Yeah,
Jenkins.
Cat Williams was in First Sunday. I don't know if he was a pimp. I have. That's one. I'm gonna be honest. I have not seen First Sunday, y'all. I haven't watched that one.
I don't think I would have told nobody.
Yeah, he's played a pimp like 3 or 4 times, so we know he got that role down. He played a pimp better than smart, funny guy, a smart, light skinned guy, Terrence
He
Howard.
he did a pimp better than Huggy Bear. Back in the day. It was just a.
He
Uh,
did. He did do a
but
pimp better than Huggy
he
Bear.
does a good pimp. He does a good. I mean, he's a really good comedian. So I give him. But Friday
Yes, that
after
was the
next was
first
his first
one.
movie. That was his first movie.
His first movie, Terry
Hmm
Crews' first movie, and I forget the other person. They said it was their very first movie. They did good because I love Terry Crews in uh, Friday After Next, in White Chicks, in what's the movie where it was about he played the president in Upside Down. Oh, that movie is so funny. What the frick is the name of that movie? Because this we're living in that right now. That movie Terry Crews was in, where he played the special president.
hmm
We're living that right now.
So
I'm
what do
about
you think? So let's switch with Terry Crews for a moment.
okay.
Since we're in the year of transparency, how do you
Mhm.
feel about him joining the Me Too movement and what he said about these movie execs?
Cheeseburger Eddie and the longest yard. What do I think about him joining the Me Too movement? He should. I
Hmm
think more men should come out and tell their stories. Women weren't the only one who were affected by these powerful men in these industries. I don't really know what all he said. I just know Christian
hmm
Keys came out and was saying how he was sexually harassed by a rich black entertainment mogul himself for years. It's probably why he
Um,
didn't even see him in much. What did
Terry
Terry Crews say?
Terry Crews said it was a prominent movie exec that
Mhm,
at a party walked up to him when he was there with his wife and
mhm.
grabbed him between his legs
I
in front
believe
of
it.
everybody and was looking at him like dead in his eyes. Like,
Mhm.
what you gonna do? And he was conflicted because if he hits that person, not only does he go to jail and he's, a big black man, a brute, but then he'll never work again.
Mhm.
So how does he square that? And it's troublesome. How do you square that? What do you do? If you're feeding your family this way, what do you do?
You have to be able to stand up. Years ago, maybe now, I know for sure it's been a good 7 years. Brendan Fraser, really
Mm-hmm.
popular. He's a white actor, but he came
Mm-hmm.
forward right when the Me Too movement was happening, and he named I don't know which executive it was. He named him and said that the guy they had finished the deal, and the guy went to shake his hand, pulled him in close, put his hand like
Mm-hmm.
he manhandled him, put his hand down his pants, and like fondled his
Buttocks.
rectum.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally, he said the man was much big. Brendan Fraser wasn't a big guy.
No,
He
but
said and just kind of manhandled him and like literally sexually assaulting him in that way to the point where he didn't even want to do. I don't even know what movie he was doing at the time. But
he
when
he
he
was,
said that, Brendan Fraser has not
yeah,
been in any movies until recently.
the whale, right?
The
So he
Whale,
was
they
he was
blacklisted
blackballed.
him.
He
He
blackballed
really
him. He
was.
was a rising star. The two movies that
Mhm.
came out, he did three right off, and that was the Mummy One, the Mummy Two, and then it was George of the
Mhm.
Jungle. And
Right.
so he was a rising star. And then I wondered what the hell happened to Brendan
He
Fraser,
came out. He
because I
spoke up.
really, yeah. The next thing you know,
He was blacklisted.
he was blacklisted, and then
Mhm.
he finally got a role as the whale. But then again, and he got applauded for that. But now he's in obscurity again. You can't find Brendan Fraser, and it's not right, guys. It's
I
not
think
right.
now that he's made this money, I think he's being really selective at this point in what he takes.
But
When time,
when you get
they
older too,
felt the same way back in the day.
when you get older, unless you
Mhm.
are, unless you are, what's his name, Sean Connery, or
Mm-hmm.
Morgan Freeman, or who've done consecutive roles. And the older you get, your ability to earn income in that field
Mm-hmm.
depreciates, especially a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not right. Especially a woman who doesn't go under the knife and get all the surgery.
Taraji P. Henson. She wasn't on my list to talk about, but like she's very relevant because now she is speaking out about her pay. Okay, Ty said, "Hey Ty, thanks for joining. Too
So
much
Ty,
funny stuff in this industry game. Ish ain't no joke. You're right. It's a lot of funny
that
stuff
casting
going on,
couch, that
and
casting
people want
couch
you
is
to
for male or female.
the who couch, the casting
That
couch.
casting couch is for male or female.
You know, in porn, if you see the
Mm.
casting couch, you know what's up.
If you go to P Diddy's, you'll see the cast.
You see the black couch.
Anyway,
You know, you know what's up. You gotta. This is the thing. Dave Chappelle said,
and we laugh and jest because of it, but we're not laughing because
no,
it's
it's
not really
not
funny.
funny.
So, but
I know
we're
Dave
making a
Chappelle
joke.
said
Yeah,
years ago, right? They blacklisted him back when he wouldn't do certain things, right?
you're right.
Oh,
You're
that's
right.
where porn got the idea from. Hollywood. It makes
Ty,
sense
go
now.
ahead and go live, baby, and tag us in it. Go
Yeah,
live on
if
there.
you go live, you definitely got to tag us
Tag
in it
us
because
in it.
I'm watching.
Yeah, come on, Ty, because I
I'm
think it's something that
all
needs to be said. This
in.
is a conversation that we need to have, not only
Right.
nationwide, but in our community, because how many of us are affected by this? You know,
Mhm.
um, it is a moment for truth. It is a moment that I'm glad you brought up Taraji because she is
Mhm.
a phenom at what she does. She
Mhm.
is a phenomenal actress, and for her to be paid pennies
Mhm.
at this stage of the game is horrible. I don't care what Vivica says because Vivica is on Tubi. She doesn't compare. Uh,
Vivica who? Fox?
Vivica said, Vivica came out and said, well, I don't get, I ain't never got no problem with my money because you ain't making no money, Vivica. Vivica, you on Tubi, you
She's
know.
making money on Tubi. She's independent. Now.
She ain't no A-lister no more. She was an A-lister for a quick moment, but
Mhm.
Taraji's an A-list actress.
Mhm.
She continue to puts out great movies, great performances, or whatever. Not Vivica.
Yeah,
Okay,
no, I think the thing that
what do you remember
people
Vivica as? If it's not if
um,
it's not set it
Kill
off.
Bill, Kill
Was she
Bill.
in Kill Bill?
She got
Okay,
yeah. She was in
all right,
Kill Bill 1 and 2.
okay. So we got one, two, and we got set it off, and then what?
Okay. We got Set It Off. We got Kill Bill 1 and 2. She was in that movie with Jamie Foxx and Morris Chestnut, who could play that game.
How long ago was it? What were all these movies?
She was in Boat Trip with Cuba Gooding Jr., who is having his own issues now, who is also probably not in the A-lister group anymore.
Mm-mm.
Um, what else she had? I was a fan of Vivica
But
Fox.
she
Booty
was in Booty
Call.
Call. She was in
Booty
Booty
Call might
Call.
have been her first movie. She definitely was in Booty Call.
Okay. So
Who
who
owns
owns Tubi?
Tubi?
If you say the Chinese, I'm gonna laugh.
Who owns Tubi TV? Them Chinese be knowing what we want, don't they?
Fox
Fox.
News.
Fox own a lot of stuff. So we're not gonna say we don't
Mm,
watch Fox Sports, Fox. I don't watch Fox News, but they own
Fox
Tubi
News.
TV. That means they studied us. They know what we want to see. They know what we want.
They know the buffoonery that some of us like, but they're not in tune to what all of us like. But they'll
Mhm.
pitch the buffoonery. They'll pitch the But anyway, I'm not gonna get
I'm
into
gonna
that.
tell you what I would like to see. I romanticize, and I know they had a hard time, but I romanticize the Black Renaissance when you had Duke Ellington and Ella Fitzgerald and all of
Hmm.
these entertainers fighting for civil rights, but also still doing their craft back when they had the Harlem Renaissance. I
Hmm.
would love to see something like that now in the African American community where we can take it to that level and we're all uplifting each other in a positive way.
You mean like
Fox
the
takes the
Cotton
money they make
Club?
from Tubi and it funds Fox News and other racist outlets.
You mean
We're
like
gonna,
during the
we gonna
Cotton
make us
Club era,
boycott
right?
Tubi, man. I'm gonna tell y'all a little secret. I rarely watch Tubi TV. I rarely watch it. Every now and then. Now I'm gonna
Man,
circle back to something that we passed, but we're gonna circle back to it. Black
come on back.
television made all the startup networks, UPN, Fox, and WB.
Yep, because Friends was based off of what black sitcom?
Friends was originally in the UK.
Friends was based off of what black sitcom?
I don't know.
Starring Queen
Living
Latifah.
Single. Oh, I
That's
love Living
right.
Single. That was the show.
That's
You know, they had a version of Friends in the UK that they say they adapted for the American audience.
they got all of that. They
Mhm.
tested the market with Living Single.
Was it Friends
Shut
or was
Living
it Sex
Single
in
down.
the City?
No,
I think
it was Friends. Friends came from Living Single.
it seems like Sex in the City did because Khadijah owned the media company. She was a writer in Sex in the City. Okay, it was Friends. I didn't really watch Friends, but okay, we'll go with
Mhm.
it. Friends.
And
That's crazy they
they
ripped it off like that.
they paid them peanuts to Living Single, and
Hmm.
paid they paid them gazillions of dollars. Some of the episodes were absolutely mirrored. Absolutely right.
What we need to hear that more of that because see
Hmm.
that's new to me. I was today years old when I learned this information, and I
Hmm.
love Living Single, and I didn't really watch Friends. They use the same everything. Maybe that's why I didn't never catch on to it. I love Living Single. Friends
They
was
they
never a thing for me.
they use our black sitcoms as a test case, and then move them over to cross them over into the
I
dark.
agree, Ty. Hmm. I agree. Tubi is a bunch of hood movies and people who can't act C and D rated actors who's popping on
On
Facebook
Facebook
and
or
IG.
Instagram.
Yeah, I don't really watch a lot of that. Black television made all the startup networks. Okay, UPN, Fox, and
Back in the
WB.
WB. Hmm.
They really did, especially UPN. Well, all of them, all three.
Hmm.
Now I haven't watched. I don't really watch cable TV anymore, just because there's so much other stuff available to watch. But that's something about the. We need to hear more about that Living
Hmm.
Single and how that was mirrored. That was an
That's
amazing show,
right.
by the way. Living
Amazing,
Single.
but
Then we had
amazing actresses.
Girlfriends. I think Sex in the City might have been mirrored off of Girlfriends, but y'all
That
can
could
let
have
me know.
been. That could
Could
have
have been
been.
because it seems like hey, it might. That movie Terry Crews was in that I was talking about. I'm gonna circle back to that for a minute. It's called Idiocracy.
Ah, got it. So
It's
our
called. I
actress
don't know if
who
you ever see
played
that.
Tony Childs,
Yeah, Idiocracy.
I was in Papados in DeSoto in Dunkerville one day and happened to
Mhm.
see her sitting at the bar. And yes, fellows, Tony, the actress who plays Tony, is as sexy in real life as she was on Girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
So because did what I did know was she's from Duncanville, Texas. And so she and
Yeah,
Jonathan
stop and read
Majors.
that real quick.
She and
So,
Jonathan
one
Majors.
pause just a minute.
Hmm.
Wayne is right. We have to start supporting and pushing platforms that are owned by us. Hence, the BWNC radio BWNC app is super
Absolutely right.
important.
Absolutely right.
Because if we
And
don't start pushing it out, then we will never get that recognition, that respect that we need, and especially what we are doing here at I Am Well Media Group. Thank you.
yep,
Very
for
true.
us by us, right?
Hmm.
And also there's an old saying by the Honorable uh, Elijah Muhammad, and it
Hmm.
says he said, "Do for self." So we have to start doing for ourselves, for us by us,
Very true. For us,
right?
by us. And
So
there are
we can
plenty
do it.
of, there are black owned media groups and all of that, us being one I Am Well Media Group. So yeah, we got to start doing that. Ty, if you go live, let us know. Okay, so Ty said Terry Crews got
He did.
fondled on by some guy and people laugh at him when he put it out there because he's a big black man. Sad story. I can go on about this ish
Yeah,
also.
because that
Mhm.
guy, if he'd have hit that guy, not only would he have done time probably, but he would have lost his career. And then how does he
Mhm.
feed his family? Because he's the breadwinner for his family. He has
Right.
a wife and kids, and so when and it should some no one should put you in that situation to where you have to, you know, choose your self-respect and
Right.
how to feed your family, whether you're male or female. It's just not right.
And
It's
it is
not.
tough. They
It is tough.
glamorize it. They make it seem like that's the life to be. I'm gonna tell y'all about my daughter. My middle daughter, She wanted to be a dancer, and she was on her way. She danced in high school. Okay, so I am World Media Group. Until the black man in America can do for self, we will never get anywhere as a people. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Thank you for that
Thank
quote.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
And
Thank you.
that's what
Thank you,
they
Brother
just
Elijah. Thank you,
yeah.
the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, for
Oh yeah, my
everything, man. Thank you. Thank you for that.
So let me finish telling this story before I lose track and be on something else in a minute. Because we do have one more subject to talk about. So y'all stay tuned. So yeah, entertainment industry. She wanted to be a dancer, right? That's what she was going. So she went to she did dance in high school. She went to Grambling State University, and she became a one of their dancers on the dance line. And the instructor made them compete against each other week over week over week for a spot on the field. Now they're practicing 8 hours a day on top of going to class.
This is your daughter.
This is my daughter, my middle daughter. They're practicing the Arkeesis. She danced for the Gremlin State Arkeesis. That was their name. And she had to perform, she had to rehearse, had to try out every single week on top of all of her classes. Now, mind you, she's in class 6, 7 hours a day. She gets out of
Mm.
class, she eats a little bit. She's in the studio 6, 7 hours. She's not getting home every night until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh
So
my
at this
God.
point, she had been there like 2 years, and she was literally getting to the point where she was having a nervous breakdown. She was in every game. She traveled with them. She got picked to be in all the competitions. It was grueling. It was certain things they couldn't eat. Their bodies were critiqued continually. And they may tell you all that they don't do this to these girls, but they still do to this day. They
Hmm.
call them fat if they gain too much weight. They weighed in every other day.
Mm.
They had to eat salads. They had to watch what the water intake. They had to watch everything they did, and they were fat shamed. Ain't no other way around it.
Hmm.
They were fat shamed. They were put in competition against each other, and this is a black uh, school putting black girls against each other for competition, because they said if you want to
Right.
be in that business in Hollywood, if you want to be in that entertainment industry, this is what you face. This is the reality of it. So when you see our girls make it, our young men make it, they have gone through some tremendous, sometimes traumatic shit to get to that level. So
Hmm.
please do support them. Now she decided to just quit dance. That's how burned out she was. And she just switched her major altogether. That's how I knew it's something quite not tracking with that. For you to do an entire about face and go in a completely different direction. She was like, it was grueling. And she was like, it's literally enough to make you have a nervous breakdown. So yeah, if you want to be in that industry, and then by the time you do all that, think about it. You do all that, and you finally get in front of some movie executive that wants to put you in a movie, and because you
Mm.
want it so bad, and you've done all this stuff to get to this point, that's when the rubber meets the road. It's hard for some people to not compromise their integrity at that point because
Integrity.
they want it so bad.
Yeah.
So when Jay
I
Z
totally
got
agree.
smacked up by Beyonce's sister, people laughed at that ish. But had he reacted, he would not be that billionaire right now. Seriously, it's a crazy game out here. It is a crazy game out here. I think there's more to that story than what we see, than what we saw in the elevator. We got to see that small clip. I don't think Solange run around here just beating up on men. I think it's something more to that, and we'll never know the story.
They keep it in
That's the
house
real
though.
story.
They,
What you
they, they
say?
they keep it they keep it in house though. They keep
Yeah.
Beyonce only shares what she wants to share, and a lot of us are still trying to figure out who the hell is Becky with the good hair. Um,
Right. Right.
you know,
Yeah, it was
so
something else going on because you could clearly see they was having some kind of conversation.
oh
So
yeah, it was fierce.
ain't no way. Y'all know Jay Z wasn't scared, but of course he knew not to react too. So, and
Right,
that's the
because
double standard, of course. It goes both ways. This is a double standard. Somebody sent me a video. I don't know if it was Wayne or you, Jonathan, where it was a Valentine's Day last year, and it was a woman. And my brother may have sent it to me. It was a woman and a man walking in the store, and the woman started beating up on the man, punching him in the head. She picked him up and body slammed him on the ground. And he was
ooh,
getting up to
ooh,
get his glasses, and nobody was helping this man. Like this girl, I'm like, whoa. She was like manhandling him. She was literally physically abusing him in the store, and like nobody would help him. So People were in
Scary.
like in the comments below that they was like, "Oh man, he weak, he a punk." Sometimes some women, kid, they'll take it there. They're that strong. So I felt like somebody should have helped him, but they just recorded. Like they just recorded the incident. Like nobody asked him, was he okay? And clearly he was not okay.
Clearly,
That
he
may
was
be an
probably
extreme case, but my goodness, it's a double standard. Had that been him slamming her to the ground, oh, everybody would have been jumping in, right? But because
mm,
it was the opposite way, it was a woman beating a man, nobody came to his aid. That sucks.
that
That,
it is because it's like, I mean, like, what do you do? You know, like and then from a man's
right.
perspective, what do you do? And what do you teach your sons at this point? At this point again, what do you teach your sons? Because we were taught never hit a girl, but man, these girls are, you know, some of them are coming with it. You know, what do you
Well,
do? How do you
I'm
keep
gonna say
yourself safe?
something. I'm gonna say something very unpopular.
Go ahead and
I'm
say it.
okay. Here's the thing. So back when the Rihanna incident happened with Rihanna and Chris Brown,
Hmm.
and they were saying that, and of course, no, it's never okay to hit anyone, male or female. But I said this then, and I still say it now, today, that depending on what happens in my hood where I grew up in Carver Heights, if you was big and bad enough as a female
The whole
to hit
projects.
a male, you better be ready to fight. Because show as you stepped your ass in the arena of a man and you hit a man, they gonna dog walk you because you didn't have no business coming out here wanting to go toe to toe with me. And they gonna go toe to toe with you. I mean, and that's how I
So
am. We should not be violent. We should not be hitting people for them to hit us. Now, if you're in a abusive relationship where you have no control and this person has taken your control and isolated you, this is not what I'm talking about. You have been trapped into that. You just didn't see it coming until it was too late. For that, I'm going to post the resources that you need if you need to get out of that situation. It's really
absolutely.
easy. Um, I will put it up for you all for the
And how
crisis
about the
management line.
men who have something to lose? Because
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
at that point right there, if we're kind of like in the Carver Heights, the
Thank you. You got to
OP,
get
the
some
old
lead.
projects, right?
Mhm.
You know, you might not have as much to lose, but if you have a couple dollars in your pocket, your name may be
Right.
on a couple of buildings or whatever, and then you know all you need is one bad press clipping out there, you know, and then your business, your life, your reputation, or whatever. How do you protect yourself from that as a man? No, and you have women who know this, you know that hey, you
Mhm.
know, I can present this kind of behavior because this person doesn't want the doesn't want the news clippings, doesn't want the press, doesn't want the negativity that will go along with this. How do you protect yourself from that?
I mean, I think for men, and I'm not a man, but this is just me looking outside looking in. I think that for the ones that I know who learn to protect themselves, they're very discreet, and they use such discernment when they're dealing with women, to the point where like they're like really cautious about what type of women they
Hmm.
deal with. They vet them for a long time, and women get upset because they're like, well, like he's this prominent guy, he's high, I'm not gonna say high value, but he's quality and he has integrity, and he's they try to get these guys. And I think a lot of times, like in the case of a Jay-Z or anyone else who's prominent, and Jimmy put a comment up too, he said, you just got to leave. This is Jimmy. I know it's easy to say, but it's what you got to do. You got to leave in those situations when a woman is coming at you like that. But these women know when you're a prominent man, not even on a celebrity level, like a real estate agent, like a Jonathan, like a whatever, like the guys who are out here who have built
Broker,
their careers,
real
right?
estate broker.
Real estate broker, thank you. Who have built their careers. Jimmy has like a long military career, right? So you have to be really careful with the type of person you get with, because people can do that just to try to get over on you. They try to fool you
Mhm.
and then make it look like you're the bad guy. I don't know what's going on with Jonathan Majors, but let me just get on this nerve for a minute. Jonathan Majors, for all intents and purposes, he looked like he was headed up, like looked like he was career was taking off. He had Marvel Comic Studios. He was doing all this stuff on low key, and he was in all his stuff. A rising star.
It's dead now.
He is dead now. I
It's
mean,
dead.
I haven't watched all the clips, but apparently he got himself a Becky with the good hair.
And she flipped out
And,
on him because
and she flipped out on him. And
another
now
girl texted him, and
something simple, right?
mhm. And so even though the worst part about it is like there were so many people who testified that said she was the aggressor, she was the one doing this, she was the one doing that, and
So
he
let's
still
back
got
up. Wait, Jonathan, back up and give people the backstory to what
okay.
we're
So
talking about.
all right, so what happened? So Jonathan and this young lady who he met on the set, they've been dating for a little while, right? And so he was in the car and was being chauffeured by a driver. And so some lady texted him saying,
Mhm.
"Wish that you were here," and everything else. And so tried to grab the phone. He snatched it away. He tried to
Keep that comment
get
up, friend.
away. Yeah, he tried to get away. She got out. He picked her up and put her back in the truck where she scratched him and hit him and everything else, still trying to grab the phone away. He
Mhm.
gets away and she follows him and he runs for like 8 blocks away from her.
True
Okay,
story.
right? She got injured with him trying to get away from her. That's what he's convicted of.
And ain't that crazy, y'all?
Unintentional injury. And
He
so
was found guilty
he
of
is
injuring the girl while he was trying to get away. That's it. That's like somebody breaking into your house. They break their leg and they sue you for damages for breaking their leg in your house while they was robbing you.
mm,
Make it make sense.
and so now he's facing when he gets sentenced up to a year in jail.
He should not get that. That's just
Up
ridiculous.
to a year in jail for this. And he was just trying to get away from this girl. He went and spent the night in the hotel, came back to his place where she was in his place or whatever, and called the cops because he called the cops because she was incapacitated, whatever. And she told them whatever she told them, they
Mhm.
arrested him.
Here, this is
And
the
it was,
crazy part. And this is my conspiracy. Let me put on my conspiracy hat for me. I don't know who he done told no in the industry, but I just feel like this is all just a railroad because he probably didn't do what someone wanted him to do when they wanted him to do it. He probably wouldn't compromise at some point. And it was like, that's okay. We're gonna have this chick right here take you out. Because come on now, in any other situations, this would have been, over and done with. It wouldn't even gotten to this point. But here this man facing a year in jail for this.
I
And
would
like
have
some
never
of the
been able
people in the
to
black
do it.
community, I've heard them say that, oh, now you want, Cat Williams actually said it. Now you want to run to the black community now that you got in trouble with this little white chick he was messing with. But I feel like he should be treated fairly.
Yeah, he should be
Right. They
treated
love to
fairly.
make an example of our people. Cat Williams kind of said that you thought you was here. Now the powers got that B got to show you really here. So I don't.
I'm
And I
telling
like
you,
Jonathan Majors. I do.
I do too. I mean, but he and what's her name? I can't think of her name. Who played Tony with girlfriend? They graduated from the same high school, which is was right down the street from my office in Duncanville.
Oh yeah, he
So,
is from Dallas, isn't he? That area, somewhere in
hmm
that area.
yeah,
Okay, we
Duncanville.
know. Oh, Megan Good. That's right. He is
He's with
with
Making
Megan
Good
Good.
now. He's with
And as
Making
a
Good
matter of
now.
fact, didn't she show up in court or something?
She was with him the whole time he was in court.
Oh, thank you, Derek. He said he messed over a white woman. The tears of white women move this country, as we well know from Emmett Till.
The fragility. It's called
We're
white
not gonna get
fragility.
on that nerve because that's gonna make me
Yeah,
have a flashback from when I
yeah,
wasn't never no slave, but I'm gonna have a flashback.
yeah.
So
We
we're
might
not
not
gonna
do
take
that
that stuff.
because we
Now he
want to be
just needs
mother.
to stop with the Coretta comparison, though. Yeah, I don't get it with the Coretta comparison. That's from Kanisha. Thank you.
I
I don't
so
get that
here it
part.
is. Let me explain to you. Here's what he's saying.
Mhm.
He's saying I want the things I want to do is I want to be notable, and I need to have a woman like uh, Coretta Scott King, Michelle Obama. I'll even say um, Betty Shabazz, who were strong and they had a moral compass about themselves. What he was upset with her about was she was out kicking it sloppy drunk or whatever and just not becoming. He's like,
Is this
look,
the same girl we talking about?
yeah, yeah. When she came in, he was like, look, I can't be with you if you don't clean your act up because I'm trying to do things, which means if I'm gonna be in the public eye, I don't need the paparazzi taking pictures of you laid out drunk or being, I need you to be like a Coretta. I need you to be like a Michelle Obama, somebody with some, I need you to be with somebody. I need you to act. I need you to have some class about
Okay,
yourself.
listen, brother. Listen. He did. She wasn't that woman. She wasn't even that. For him to have to
Yep.
go that far to have to explain it. Okay, Ty says, come on, they don't give a F about our people. They threw Bill Cosby in jail at 80 plus years old. No
Yep.
matter how great a success you had, they will make an example of our people, hands down. We can't win, shaking my head. Or it's like we can't win. Yeah, that's one way to look at it. We can win within our own communities. We just got to get to the point where we are 100% supporting each other, just like the Mexicans that piled 14 people in the car. They support each other.
I think we
We
can
have to
win,
do that.
but we have
Mhm.
to create our own economy. So there's this book, and I've made it known before. It's oh God, it's Powernomics by Dr. Claude Anderson. He actually gives the recipe, and
Hey, Heather.
other cultures have used this book to climb up on it, right? And it
Mhm.
has everything to do with first what we do within our culture, what we do with ourselves, how we build our communities, how we then build, how we either rent or build our politicians, create our, then that's how we control politics. So it is an amazing book. If you guys have not taken a look at it or even researched who Dr. Claude Anderson is, I implore you to do so.
Yeah,
The
put it
name of this
in
book,
the All Things Undone group chat or send it to me so
mhm,
I can drop that book in there. So we're
I
gonna switch
will.
gears for just a minute, but you're right. We do need to begin building, and this effort's going on now. I know we got um,
Hmm. There you go, Derek.
um, 5-story building. Explain.
I'll
I'm
let
lost
Derek.
on it.
I'm gonna let Derek do that one because even though I know, I'm gonna let Derek do that
5-story building. All right. So we're going to, while he's typing it in, 'cause it may take him a minute to type it in. This is
one.
what I want to ask y'all that's watching, the people that are still on and still watching. New year, new you, or new year, same you? What you doing this year? New year, new you, new year, same you.
Or is it New
Jonathan,
Year? Or is it New Year if we just trying to survive because inflation's up and uh and the pocketbook is a little short? So what is it? Is it New Year, New You, New Year trying to survive, or is
oh
it
no,
New Year?
listen. This year, I don't care what come what may, I am thriving. Okay.
Okay,
There is
good,
power
good.
in what you think and what you say and what we allow to
Say
come out of
that, say
our
that.
mouth.
Well, I wanted to
So
put
for
that out there for
me,
the people to see where they were.
oh, for me, it's I'm thriving. I don't care what happened, baby. It's up from here. I'ma have what I need every day. And I mean that I have what I need every day. Okay. That's where I'm at this year. I didn't make a New Year's resolution because I had already had a plan in place that's working. So we just pushing in that direction. So it's same year, it's New Year, same me for me. New Year,
It's
same
new.
me.
It is New Year, building on and adding on new assets and facets of who I am
Okay,
to
let's see.
to you know to hit the what is 50-year-old me gonna look like this year?
I don't know what is 50-year-old you're gonna look like. New Year, just striving to be better every day. Yay, yay.
Yeah,
And
yep,
that's it.
yep,
That's what
yep.
we're doing right
50-year
there.
old me is wiser than I've ever been before in my life. And then I
Mm,
look back on, like what from this point forward, as I'm looking over from this juncture of the mountain,
mm,
what lies ahead? What do I need to add on? What do I need to subtract? Who do I
mm,
need to subtract out of my life? Who do I
mm,
need to add in? What do I need to do in order to make it to
mm,
where I want to
mm.
eventually go? So it's you know, it's more about what I see 5 years down the road as opposed to just this year.
Right. Economics,
Economics,
political
political
justice, yeah,
justice,
education.
education.
So Thank you. 5 stories. And we do need that. Here's the thing, Derek, that's we build and we build and we build, but like because media plays such a large role in everyone's life, we're building, we're trying to create stability for our own communities. And then on the other side, we have the media who's promoting a lot of superficial stuff, for lack of a better word, you know. So if we could figure out a way to have our people focus more on what's important, building those pillars, building that economics, political justice, media, and education, and not having it fall apart. We are so stuck in that they're doing this over here and one person gets their feelings hurt. That's what I wish we could do. I wish we could move with logic as a people and not move through our emotions and our trauma. Like, how do we get past that where we can think logically as a community and
It has
move
to be
forward?
taught. It has to be
Um,
taught. Because I think that a lot of times we teach emotionalism as opposed to thinking logically. And we have to be taught how to make good decisions. It comes with thinking.
Oh, wait,
And
hold on
is
just a minute. Let me get her coming in because it's on the screen and then we'll come back to you. Okay, thank you,
okay.
Kanisha. This year, I'm trusting God in the process and even being thankful for the things He's not allowing because I spent too much time focusing on rejection.
Okay.
Oh, I
Good deal.
love
And
you.
who was this?
This is Kanisha
Kanisha.
Jawan. Let me look at Kanisha. Oh, that's my
Hey
friend Kanisha.
Kanisha. Hey Kanisha, that was excellent post. That was thank you for sharing that. That was excellent. So
I
yeah,
agree.
because spending time focusing on rejection does us no good.
Mm-mm.
And I can say this as a person who faces rejection every day. And guess what? Rejection sucks. It does. It does. But we can't focus on that because it's and I don't know what your situation is, but don't focus on that. So here's what I'm gonna give you.
Mm.
Um in a racetrack, right? If the driver is going around the racetrack, if he's focusing on the wall, what do you think he or she's gonna hit? The wall, right? So you're
Mm.
focusing on the internal of the track if you're going around the track. That's the same thing with us. Is the more we focus on rejection, the more that's more of what we're gonna get. So
Very true. So glass half full this year. Rejection is just another opportunity for me to ask again. Not just depend on what the situation is, but I'm going to say this because we're coming up on 2 hours and we have some resources available for you guys in
yes,
this new year. Okay, my cousin shared a link with me this morning. So if you are a couple or if you coupled up or if you booed up for the winter or whatever the case may be, I need you guys to go to All Things Undone Facebook page, and I have pinned the link in there for resources for couples. On top of that, on the All Things Undone, excuse me, atupodcast.com,
mm,
www.atupodcast.com/resources. I'll have that link pinned in our Facebook group and also on Facebook in general. I have resources on there for
absolutely
you.
right, Derek. Absolutely right. That's it. Absolutely right, Derek. Keep boy. That's it right there.
Okay,
That's
so
it.
let's read what it says for everyone. It says Derek says each story pays for the next. Let your money bounce in your neighborhood 10 times before it leaves. Take that and buy your politicians. Take
That's
that
right.
and use them to change your laws.
Yep.
Take that and use media to communicate with your people.
Yep.
Lastly, you teach your kids useful information. That is
That
your
is your
build.
building. Absolutely
Thank you
right.
so much. And that is the
And that
five
is from Doc.
stories.
That is from Dr. Claude Anderson.
Hold on, let me snip that. Hold on, let me snip that comment right there, right quick, um while it's up on my screen.
That's
So let
beautiful,
me
isn't it? That's
yeah, let me go
beautiful.
ahead and snip that and put that down so I can have it in my Rolodex. But what I was saying is we do have resources available for you guys. So if you are need a 3 month plan for the year, we have a 3 month plan for on the atupodcast.com, so you can kind of get your year jump started, or if you just want to plan out your year quarter by quarter by quarter. I also have a sheet on there called what would a home run for you this week look like, because sometimes if we break things down into smaller pieces, it fits our life better. We become more strategic and structured and less overwhelmed and anxious. So I do have that on there for you as well. I also have a PDF, an infographic on there for active listening. We could all improve our listening skills. I don't have enough downloads on that, so I know everybody think they're amazing listeners. Please check that out. And that is Derek Taylor from the I Am Woe podcast and Underground Sports King. Thank you so much. They're all part of I Am Woe Media Group. They are also
Derek,
on Black
that
with
was
No
great.
Chaser Radio, BWNC Radio.
Yep.
And I think we have posted everybody's show on the All Things Undone Facebook group page, but we will put it up again. And thank you all so much for joining. Every single person. I'm going to try to call you out. I might miss y'all. Eric, Vanessa Smith, Brenda Robinson, thank you for joining. Kanisha, Heather, Marsha, Jimmy, Leslie, who else? Stacy. I'm missing some people. I don't want to miss anybody. Elacia, thank you. And Eric Neeson and everybody over on the I Am Woe side. Derek, who else? We had a few people over there as well. Thank you all for joining tonight.
Thank you.
Any last words?
Yes.
Jonathan.
Last words from me, guys. As your new year starts out, if you do not have your estate planning in place, you need to do that. There have been some people who we lost last year. There was someone that my daughter's mom transitioned this past week, and she didn't have it in place. So I'm being honest with you. And so, guys, if you don't have it, if you don't have your estate planning in place, you need to do so, because you're not only hurting, you're hurting generations down the line. And there are people who will be fighting over assets that you have or have left that no, that doesn't need to do that. And if you don't have that in place, then there's some judge that you've never met that's going to make decisions for your family. So I'm telling you this from my heart, and you don't have to use me, because I can't do a plan for you. But if you need to, I can send you to somebody who can. And I don't make a dime for that. But I'm just telling you guys, get that in order. Okay. This is a new year. Things happen. It's part about transparency. Don't be exposed by not taking care of your people. What you do with your estate planning at this point is the last love letter you make and you send to your family. Don't be caught like
that. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you said that. I'm going to put together a resource and have it available on atupodcast.com for anyone who wants to look into estate planning, creating a will. Jonathan, I am going to stick your information in there just because you you are a real estate broker and a licensed insurance agent. So you can answer questions and field questions for that and point them in the direction they need to go. So that will be there. And also shout out to Sunshine Reads, my girl Whitney. Mackenzie, I was on her live the other night. She had me on her live in my bunny, out of all things. I'm following this group now. Follow me back. I got you. I'm definitely going to follow you back. Listen, everybody, follow Ty Graham. He posts the best comments, his quotes on Facebook.
Yes,
anybody I know. I love it. So y'all definitely follow him. Thank you, Ty. Thank you, everyone, for joining. We're going to go ahead and close it out because we're coming up on 2 hours. Y'all have a blessed, amazing week. Go check out those resources. Until next week, listen to us on BWNC Radio tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're out.
Bye. We're out. Bye-bye.